Well, role players in the tourism sector have gathered in Johannesburg for the annual Global Exhibitions Day. The Exhibition Day is marked annually on the first Wednesday of June to drive visibility of exhibition industries locally, regionally, and on a global scale. The Global Exhibition Day allows industry players to also recognize and celebrate the pivotal role of the exhibition industry in the economy. SABC News reporter Katlego Legodi is now joining us live from the event, which is taking place at Katlego Legodi here in Gauteng. Katlego, good morning and thank you so much for making time for us. So Global Exhibition Day, I didn't even know that actually exists. So now I hear that it actually happens every year, the first Wednesday of June, and the event now currently taking place at Katlego Legodi. And of course, we know what COVID-19 has done to the exhibition industry.
Most definitely. A very good morning to you, Eldrin, and to our viewers at home. It is indeed a thing, a Global Exhibitions Day. It's in its 8th installment as we speak today. Role players have gathered here from early in the morning to take stock of what is happening in this sector. You're right to say that COVID-19 has really seen the sector not getting the best out of the tourism industry and the tourism space. But here today, we're talking about those role players gathering to take stock in terms of the exhibition spaces that have now, gotten active as, we get back to normality. Economies are also looking at this sector to ensure that the tourism space get the best out of the tourism and the exhibition space. And this is why the SA Tourism entity has invited us here today, working with various role players in the exhibition space to help us take stock and mark the day. I'm going to invite into the conversation now, Eldrin, the acting CEO of SA Tourism, this being Nomasonto Ndlovu. She's joining us to just let us in on what we can expect here. Outside, there is a hive of activity. We are here inside because there's a panel discussion that is about to get underway. Welcome to the SABC.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
We're doing well, ma'am. How are you doing this morning? It's an exciting one, looking at the Global Exhibitions Day.
It is a very important day for us in tourism. This is a part of tourism that nobody really talks about, but very important. So exhibitions, they are very important in the economy. Currently, globally, they contribute $72 billion US. So no mean feat, very, very big number in terms of contribution. Out of that, South Africa contributes 21%. That comes to about $342 million US. So we want to celebrate this part of our tourism industry. We want to take stock, as you are saying, to say how we're doing. We've just come back from Indaba, the Africa's Travel Indaba, one of the biggest tourism exhibitions that we host as South African Tourism. And we want to make sure that we can have a conversation about how do we accelerate the economic recovery, the tourism recovery, using the exhibitions. So as you have said, a very important day, and we've gathered here to celebrate this day. It happens every year, the first Wednesday of June.
Let us in then on the role players that we can expect to form part of this day. We know very well that there's a panel discussion that will get underway in just tapping into the market space where the exhibitions are concerned.
So this day is hosted by our partners. This is EXA and AXO. These are the two big organizations that have members who are role players in the exhibition space. So we are gathered here with them. They then invite a whole lot of other interested partners, SA Tourism, Gauteng Tourism, the tourism boards from the different parts of South Africa. They also get invited. There's private sector that's invited, who are also people who play in the space. Either they have venues, either they actually put together these exhibitions. So they are all gathered here today. And as we've said, let's take stock coming out of COVID, the recovery plan. How are we doing? How is this sector actually recovering? And we know this is a very important also way of selling businesses, because this is direct. So it's either direct B2B or direct consumers coming to buy directly what is being sold at an exhibition. So we know that there's a space in the world for exhibitions. And what we saw coming out from last year when we came out of COVID is that the world started meeting in person at exhibitions, because exhibitions can't work virtually. Exhibitions I want to see, touch and feel and buy at that particular point in time. So this gathering here is very important, that we pay tribute and we respect what this industry does in the tourism industry.
All All right. Nomasonto Ndlovu coming through as the acting CEO from SA Tourism. Thank you very much for your time. Very important session here. And as we speak right now, those role players are starting to gather in this room. They're going to be having a plenary session. This is where they'll be talking about the things that matter where this sector is concerned. I'm just going to take you through those people that will form part of the panel discussion. We have Chifiwa Chivengwa, the CEO of Tourism Business Council, coming through. We also have Zinhle Nzama, South African Tourism, coming through. Tembiso Dlamini, CEO of the Gauteng Tourism, who will be here as well. Moresi Ramunyai, chairperson of the Events Greening Forum. So a multi-sectoral approach to ensuring that we're getting the best out of the exhibition space where tourism in South Africa is concerned. Aldrin?
Yeah, Katlego, and as Nomasonto was speaking there, quite important is also the venues where these exhibitions will be taking place. And I wonder what the sector's reaction was to the decision that was taken that the Ticket Pro Dome would be sold to We Buy Cars. And that was a huge venue that used to be used also for exhibitions of this nature.
Yeah, most definitely, Eldrin. I mean, here we're talking about the sector that was really in the receiving end where COVID-19 is concerned. We saw some facilities closing shop, but now they're trying to, pick up the pieces from what we saw come out of COVID-19. There was that Indaba that took place in Cape Town as well, where they were taking stock. So some of those resolutions and ideas that were discussed there will be ventilated here as they try to get meaning and position the tourism space and the exhibition space to get the best out of them where the economy is concerned. So they're going to be taking stock and those well-needed intervention to safeguard some of these facilities. Obviously, what happened there at the Dome is something that really saw the tourism industry taking a knock because it's an event space, but we've seen them trying to position themselves to try and protect the industry from all of those concerns and challenges that would come from pandemics and other socio-economic issues that will affect the tourism space. Aldrin?